This painting starts with just one simple grape, then another and another. As each grape overlaps the previous one, a realistic bunch of grapes slowly begins to take shape. It may look complicated, but it's actually quite simple. The key is to carefully observe your reference image rather than trying to paint everything from memory. I begin by mixing burnt sienna with touch of Payne's gray, and using a very light value of this mix, I paint the background. While the background is drying, I prepare all the colors I need. First, I mix a large amount of the background color using burnt sienna and a touch of Payne's gray. Then I mix burnt sienna with magenta to create a beautiful purplish brown color for the grapes. For the darkest shadows, I use the same burnt sienna and magenta mix in thick consistency and add a bit of Payne's gray to it to paint the shadow areas on the grapes. I start by painting the first grape using the light value of the mix, which is burnt sienna and a touch of Payne's gray, and I'm leaving a small highlight on the left side. While the paint is still wet, I add medium value of the mix, which is burnt sienna and magenta, to paint the color of the grapes. Then, while it is still wet, I drop in the dark value mix, which is the mix of burnt sienna, magenta, and a bit of Payne's gray to paint the shadow areas. You can see the colors blend on the paper and create a realistic grape. The first group of four grapes forms the focal point of the painting, so let's paint those first. For the second grape, I follow exactly the same process. That is, I start with light value and then I add medium value to build the color of the grape. And finally, I drop in the dark value for the shadow areas. Next, for the third grape, it it slightly overlaps with the second one, and the second one is still wet, so the color might bleed into the other grape. That's perfectly fine for me. I actually enjoy that effect because it adds to the beauty of the watercolor painting. But if you prefer clean edges, simply let the second grape dry completely before painting the third one. Now I'm creating the fourth grape, and this fourth grape completes our focal point. Once these four grapes are in place, then the rest of the bunch becomes much easier to build. For the fifth grape, I follow the same process, but this grape sits just below the second and third grapes, so their shadows will fall on this grape. So we have to paint their cast shadows and also the shadow that falls on the right side of the grape to create the depth and make the grapes look like they are overlapping. For the next grape, I do something a little different because this grape is almost entirely in shadow. I paint it directly using dark value mix instead of building it up layer by layer. For the next grape, I begin with medium value mix and gradually add the dark value. At this stage, it looks like the darkest grape in the bunch, but it will balance out once we add all the grapes. The grapes that are in shadows are painted with darker values, and also there won't be any highlights. But still, I leave some light areas, not like highlight, but a little bit lighter area to suggest the reflected light from the surrounding grapes. This helps the grape to give it a round shape instead of looking flat. Next, I'm using the same dark value mix to fill the space between the four focal point grapes. This dark value separates the grapes and make each one stand out more clearly. From this point onwards, I speed up the process because I simply repeating the same process of building layers for each grape. Next, I mix sap green with medium value mix, that is the mix of burnt sienna and magenta, to tone down that vibrant green and use it to paint the main stem of these grapes. Next, using dark value mix, I add tiny side stems branching off from the main stem and use it to paint the shadow areas. Then, using a clean damp brush, I lift some pigment at the center of the stem for the highlight. The final step is to paint the cast shadow of these grapes on the surface. So, for that, I use the dark value mix that is already on my palette, and I added a lot of water to that mix to make it as a light value to paint the cast shadow beneath the grapes. At this point, I noticed there is an empty space between the grape cluster, and to fill that space, I painted one final grape. Since it is tucked underneath the other grapes, it receives very little light, so I painted with dark value mix. And that's it. Our painting is done. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more watercolor painting content. Thanks for watching till the end, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care and bye bye from Prema.